For weeks, the pandemic has shut down just about everything we know and love outside of our homes. But for the men and women out on the streets helping keeping us safe, little has changed, except for the heightened risk they face on the job. Tonight, Jay Cole shows us how officers are handling COVID-19, also preparing for the busy summer months.
Safe distancing boundaries fly out the window just about as fast as suspected criminals run from Ramsey County Sheriff's deputies. There's little choice but to end this dangerous chase, knowing eventually they'll come in contact with a suspect in the middle of a pandemic.
You worry about contracting it?
Yeah, I'm worried about it because I have people in my family that are would be considered at-risk population for COVID, but I signed up to do a job.
In this case, Ramsey County Deputy Tony Body is in the middle of this scene, pulling a violent suspect from a semi. A half-dozen law enforcement officers and paramedics in contact with that man. Body wears a mask when he can, a 6-foot separation not always realistic. It's unpredictable every day. During another arrest, he says, a suspect claimed to have COVID.
What went through your mind then?
A little bit of fear. Fear of taking it home and fear of exposing it to my family outside of the job.
In another incident, Body was told he arrested a suspect who might have COVID.
Did that happen to you? Did they quarantine you?
They did.
How long were you quarantined?
4 days.
Did they clean the squad too?
Yep, my squad was clean. My laundry was done by the firefighters. And then I was cleared to come back. I missed 1 day of work, and then I was cleared to come back the following day after that.
No hesitation?
No hesitation.
Body says the suspect lied about being infected, a problem, he says, that's happening often. His boss tells me it's a delicate balance keeping deputies safe while still rounding up trouble.
But it's tough. I mean, you have to instantly react to situations as they change. You may or may not have a mask on in your squad car, and you have to leap out at a moment's notice. So I would say it's a new normal for us, and we haven't quite figured it out.
Ramsey County Sheriff Bob Fletcher says there are safety protocols if a deputy contracts the virus, and so far, no deputies have tested positive. One big challenge due to privacy laws, he says, when deputies respond to a call, they can only be told the address of someone infected, but not the specific person.
There's no way to do police work and to stay completely safe.
And over in St. Paul, officers wear masks, as you see on this call to a disturbance, trying to keep a safe distance, but still quite a problem. Answering another call, officers chase down suspected drug dealers through the middle of town. At the end, they're clustered together, no time for masks or protective gear, just time enough to make the arrests.
How hard has that been?
Well, it's a stressful time.
Police Chief Todd Axtell tells me in addition to masks, his officers social distance, are tested if they might be in contact with the virus, and have staggered shifts. So far, he says, only a few officers tested positive.
They get into this job because they truly want to help people, and they put other lives, other people's best interests in front of theirs when they wear this badge and they go out and serve our community.
Two commanders with one shared COVID mission as an expected virus peak collides with an expected spike in summer crime.
Calls for service go up, crime goes up, and we have to be ready and be operational ready to answer those increased demands for service. And I know that our officers are up to that challenge.
So we're protecting our deputies at the same time we're protecting the community. And this is where, in a way, we are similar to what the medical industry has to do. In order to do your job, you have to put yourself at risk.
And now consider this, Sheriff Fletcher tells me that the number of shots fired are already higher this time of this year than they were last year at this time. So you can tell right now police are under a lot of pressure, a lot of different stress as well. He also says the county is on par right now to either equal or go beyond the record number of deaths they had last year related to gunfire, Lindsay.
And of course, we're going to be comparing these numbers for a long time, but you mentioned the increase in shots fired calls. The sheriff mentioned that. Well, is the sheriff saying if he believes this has a definite connection to COVID-19? I mean, of course, more people are at home.
Here's what's interesting, Lindsay. He did talk about the effects of COVID-19 on some of these crimes. Here's what he told me. He said, there's a lot of stress right now. People are cooped up in their homes, a lot more contact with one another that way, which is a little bit ironic. So the number one increase they've seen is domestic assault calls. And consider this, police will tell you the most dangerous call they go on is domestic assault. And that is now the highest increase they're seeing is in domestic assault, Lindsay.
It can get very heated at home right now. Thank you, Jay.